From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabbytha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to play the game.
That was Nikodas. I am Tabbytha, and up next is Grebog.
And we already have people trying to distract me. Unfortunately, yes, you cannot hear that mem, I know. This is episode 196, Torpedo, Pick of the Future. And I guess computer run program. Yeah, we got to start the program up. If you'd like to support us, obviously you can do that here by following us. I mean, we also appreciate subscribers and lurkers and all that. Or you can go over to coffee. We accept people to buy us some coffee over there. All is appreciated.
I love the name of this episode. Like, you did really good. Pick of the Future.
Yeah, that's got a pun on a couple different levels.
Well, and it basically is telling you exactly what this episode's about. We're doing a torpedo build on a guitar pick looking ship from the future.
Better than a toilet seat.
But I've seen some toilet seats that are roughly that shape.
True, and another friend of mine pointed that out. He basically thinks all of the 32nd century ships that we have seen so far all look like various parts of a toilet. And once he stuck that in my head, like, I cannot unsee it. He's not wrong.
I mean, yes, there are some toilet seats that do look vaguely like this, yes. Minus the nacelles.
But I am perfectly okay with calling it a guitar pick instead of a toilet seat. So I'm good with that. For the occasion, and I just went to my bridge, but for the occasion, I actually have Katis sporting the 32nd century uniforms. I love this uniform. This is my favorite uniform that we have seen in Star Trek so far. Although the Protostar uniform also has a special place in my heart.
The only thing I don't like about the 32nd century uniform, my only complaint, is the asymmetrical shirt hem.
Oh, I dig it, but to each their own. I will say this: I have seen the original Discovery uniforms and the 32nd century uniforms side by side, and I like the 32nd century way better.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving right along.
Moving along.
Grebog, how has your week been?
My week has been, I guess, normal. I did get into Plunger Storm a little this week. Some people are like, hey, let's do trios. And I had more fun doing trios than I do solo. Solo to me is just a... I think that sound greatly explains it. And for those that don't know, Plunger Storm it's a PvP Fortnite cross between WoW. It's WoW slapped against the wall into Fortnite and come out with this little chaos thing in the Arathi Highlands. Highlands, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and I tried it the other day. I don't like that you can't customize the controls like at all. So yeah.
So the reason I don't like it is I've seen people will do a slow glide to watch where someone else is going to land, and then they chase you down so they land on top of you and kill you before you get to do anything. Or there's the other teams that will land as close as they can to just try to take you out before you get to do anything. Either just start PvP right now, right up front.
Yeah, that's
And
normal in those type of games.
I'm not a big fan of that mentality. At least let me pick up my plunder, and then you can have my plunder once you kill me. I don't care. Once I get my, I want to get my captain's orders done, and then you can kill me. That's all I say. Anyway, outside of that, let's see. I did D&D over the weekend. We had some fun there. Unfortunately, we the party. Well, I guess they didn't let them get away. The bad guys got away again. I hinted that, hey, if you wanted to cast counterspell, now would be the time to do it. No one cast counterspell, and then the mage teleported, and since teleport lets them take up to 8 people, they took the room full of villains with them. Oh, oops.
Oh,
And then now the party wants to take a long rest. I'm like, you do know you have a group that knows exactly everything, and they aren't even the leaders. That there's more that they likely will send messages, and you're known. You're in a spot that they know about. So we'll see how that goes, if they take a long rest or not. That's the next game session. They get to decide that. Anyway, outside of that, it's been great. I've been having fun with the STO, doing dailies, working on a build. I couldn't push myself to do home a third time, so I don't have the 3-piece morphogenic set. I'm a bad boy, bad boy.
We'll go over that in a little bit.
Grebog.
Anyway,
eeny, meeny, miny. I don't.
Pass the torch, man.
Okay, Nikodas, how's your week been since you spoke up?
I figured I'd help you out there, give you a target to, throw that at. My week has been fine. I'm in the last section on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in that game that was not present in the original Final Fantasy VII, so I'm very curious where they're going. I'm also curious how long I'm going to have to wait for the third game in the series to come out. Hopefully not another 3 years, but, we'll see. I put this build together. I did it equipment-wise slightly differently. I went ahead and forked out the dough for the isomags instead of using the exploiters. So I've only got 2 of them because that's all that was on the build once I got all the universal consoles and tactical consoles slotted. They are Torpedo isomags, so it fits pretty well. So yeah, I went with that. Putting the build together took some work. I had to run. Actually, Katis did not have any of the equipment from home. He's always been a phaser character. So I did have to run that 3 times, which was a pain. I did that all yesterday. Outside of those 2 games, I have not been doing a whole lot of gaming. I dinked around a little bit on Destiny, but I really need to find a partner to help me on a couple missions, and nobody I know plays that game outside of AIE, and I tried to get AIE to help and did not get any hits. So that's a thing that I'm stuck on right now. Yeah, that's been my week, though. How about you, Tabby?
Let's see. I've been playing. Let's see. In WoW, I've been working on my blood DK. I've got her up to like 450, like 449 or something like that. Just below 450. In STO, I got this build put together, and I got it mostly as Grebog put it, except for the duty officers. Yeah, tankiness.
I mean, it's the right choice in my opinion, but I'm
Yes.
biased.
Well, I mean, I've always loved blood DKs. My only complaint about blood DKs was like way back. You used to be able to make blood DKs as DPS. Like it used to be in the talent trees whether or not you were DPS or tank. So you could build a tank blood or a DPS blood.
I miss
And I
those
miss
days.
that dearly.
Yeah, technically you could do frost tank or DPS. I think there might have even been an unholy version of a tank.
There was. You could do unholy tank, you could do frost tank, or you could do blood tank.
My
And they
main
both had different flavors of tanking.
my
Yeah.
main
Like
back in
frost
that
tank was more about like just toughness tanking, and and blood was about like the healing aspects, and where frost was damage reduction.
Well, let me know when you get a priest deciding to quit playing or quit playing WoW because you out heal them constantly. I had one threaten me, and then he did quit eventually, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
But
anyway,
let's see. I've got D&D late. I've got D&D on Saturday, so my D&D weekend is coming up. I'm really excited for that because we have finally got I've roped Nimue into making a character, so she will be joining us this week. That's going to be exciting, and I'm also recovering from exhaustion because I spent all day down at the Capitol yesterday.
and you get the benefit of D&D in person.
I do.
I miss that.
Onwards and upwards.
So that would be this week in STO then, Grebog.
All right, the Delta Quadrant needs you. I fixed that this week because, well, you know, it's only funny so many times. Anyway, now until May 2nd, you can, on all platforms, that's consoles included, you can make Delta recruits. That's at the start menu. Just pick basic Federation, basic KDF, or even a Romulan, and you can create a Delta recruit. Now, to get all of the account unlocks, you have to create one basic Federation, one basic KDF, and one Romulan. Now, the Romulan can go KDF or Federation. It doesn't matter. But mainly, this is because the initial story arc that is slightly different for each of those three. And once the Romulan chooses a faction, they get the same story arc as everybody else, and that's roughly where the KDF and the Federation tie in together as well for story arcs. So that is the only reason you need 3, and only 3. I know there are some people saying that you need 4. You only need 3. I know this for a fact because I've done it with my recruits.
We're also going to go over that next week, and we'll give more details on exactly why you need 3 and what rewards you're going to get by having 3, so people know.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like we'll like spell it out and make charts and diagrams and all that fun stuff.
I can do that. I can probably put together some stuff, some imagery.
That'd be really handy. That'd be really cool.
Images.
All right. So the other thing is First Contact Day event is going on. It started on the 11th and runs to May 2nd. So we're a week in. You have plenty of time. If you do it every day from here on out, you still have plenty of time to get all your daily progress and get the reward. The main reward is the Photon Burst Rifle. I don't have it yet, but it looks interesting. I'm curious to see how it performs. Go ahead.
Nimue was mentioning, and I just discovered this today, and I don't know if we haven't really covered this, but the prize box for the badges and XP bonus token is per account per day, per character per day, per account. So you can run it. You can get that badge box on each character on your account per day.
Oh, that'd be a quick way to get those 17 comm badges.
Yeah, now the same character can't get it multiple times in a day, but you can rotate through your characters on your account and get it multiple times in a day.
That's interesting. To get the daily progress, there are 2 TFOs, the Synthwave and the Model Rocket Launch, and 1 Patrol, which is 1 night in Bozeman. You can do any of them. And we did a breakdown on that last week, so I'm not going to get too much into it. Let's get into this build.
We discovered another tip for the patrol.
Yes.
You know how when you beam down on an away team, like it lets you select bridge officers? If
Yes.
well, we tried it with 2. I don't know how it'll work with more than 2. But if you let the first person like fully load in with their away team, and then you follow in with yours, you will have both players with their full away teams.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think
And
we
so
had that happen once.
Nimue and I, like multiple times, we've been able to bring in both of our entire away teams. And so there were the 5 of me and the 5 of her. So it was a party of 10 just cleaning house in Bozeman.
Nice. All right,
so
Grebog.
I wonder if we could do it with 3.
We can try.
All right. Anyone that has the link, copy the link. I'm going to share the link for the spreadsheet. So that way anyone that wants to follow along can. This is our build. This is our primary target. It is on our ship here, which mine's named the Dunlop Kirk, which is actually a brand for a guitar pick. They're supposed to be really easy to control, and a lot of jazz musicians prefer them. So I guess it would get the Riker approval.
I named mine the Fender, which is after a guitar company. I'm sure they make picks as well, but there you
go. Now this is the Merian Command Science Dreadnought. It is was in the mud bundle that has the DPRM and all that. It is a bit of an interesting ship. It has a 4-3 layout on weapons, partially because it being a dreadnought, unlike most science vessels where it would be a 3-3. Though being a science ship, it does have the secondary deflector. So we went, because the ship has seating for command. Command is great for torpedo builds, so we have gone with a torpedo build on this setup. A lot of the stuff we've gone with is from reps. There is some expensive stuff. We did kind of throw the normally we try to be a little bit budget friendly, but since the ship is already non-budget friendly, we kind of tossed the budget out the window, and whatever we had we used. But some of these,
you went all in on this one.
Yeah. Except apparently I can't do home because at the 3rd time it just wasn't in me.
Can't go home again.
Well, technically it would have been my 4th time because I already have done it at least one time before because I have the Herc device. So we have the dark matter quantum torpedo. That is to get to the 2-piece set. As you can see, we have the Lorca's console on the tactical. We'll get to that. Or maybe it's good that I'm explaining why we're doing like at the same time. Now, the Delphic distortion torpedo. This is an expensive one. This is a Lobi one, so 200 Lobi unless on sale. Fortunately, there was a sale when I picked it up, and I only had to pay 160. So, but it is one of the better torpedoes out there. It does some pretty hefty damage. The set, I don't know that it doesn't work so well for this build, so we're just wanting the oomph that the Delphic torpedo gives. Yes, I'm a cheapskate. I buy things on sale. I never pay full price. Here we have the neutronic torpedo launcher. Now this is a rep, right? Yes, Delta rep.
Yes.
It is the Delta rep. I did not go with any of the other things. This is another, it has some hefty damage to it, which is why it's in the build. I don't know that the 2-piece or 3-piece are worth it. If it could, if you're looking for an extra console, it probably wouldn't be bad to grab the console for the set, because of the radiation damage that adds into some of the stuff in the science side of this build. Then we have the enhanced biomolecular, if I can, photon torpedo. Again, another rep. This is here, let me mouse over it because we have it right here. 8472. It's a very strong, non-destructible on high yield. It is what you want to be triggering after you hit the high yield. So it's a very nice torpedo. For the deflector, this one, this is from the colony. You want the one that has EPG on it because we're trying to boost some of our EPG damage. We have a secondary deflector. We might as well take advantage of that. And so we grabbed one that has Control X ×2 and EPG. The Control X ×2 helps with what we're using in our build. Also some control abilities. So, and then also from the colony, we grab a deteriorating secondary deflector. It is more Control X EPG on it. It is worth picking up. So it's Control X / EPG, then Control X, then EPG, and then it also has projectile damage on it, which is another reason to pick it up because it boosts. You gotta love a secondary deflector that has more projectile damage on a torpedo build.
All the projectile damage.
Now, this is where some people might have some interesting thoughts. We have gone with the I've gone with the revolutionary combat impulse engines. It has speed and turn too. For this ship, you're going to want some more speed and turn. May not be the best for that. However, it is because we're getting the 2-piece with it and the warp core. And with that, it gives us the 2-piece set, which all damage resistance rating versus foes. It boosts your, It takes advantage of like the EPG side of things, because here all your exotic damage crit severity plus 53.7%. I mean that's a pretty big, that's a hefty percent boost to. And obviously, like I said, we're also using the revolutionary warp core. And then we're using Tilly's shield because, well, Tilly's shield. It is one of the best shields that you can get out there. It's not meta for no reason. And then on the aft, we have the morphogenic Polaron energy torpedo. And then we also have the morphogenic Polaron energy weapon. And if you were good, you would have picked up the console, but I did not. The benefit to this is the 2-piece gets you a 15% recharge time reduction out to fire at will, beam overload, scatter value, all of the good stuff, all your firing weapon modes. 3-piece gives you more good, it's not pretty. I can't talk. You get more crit chance bonuses and crit severity depending upon, and it even increases your torpedo spread, torpedo high yield, weapon damage. So together, the three-piece is worth picking up. I'm just a slacker. Well, and then here's one that's an interesting, if you don't have it, it is in the mud store, but I don't know that I'd pick it up. If you don't have it, I would just grab another. You could either grab one of the torpedoes on the front, put it on the aft, and put like the fluoride maelstrom on the front in place of one of those. That might be a good option. Or if you have another torpedo, I honestly have enjoyed having the mines because I have laughed so hard when I've had enemies that are super fast try to come behind me and just blow up because I ran into my mines.
Yeah, like swarmers.
Yeah, swarmers. This is an old event item, and it is a really nice. Yeah. It has, some abnormally good stacking with the resonating payload modifications, which is one of the traits that we were using. Devices, I put in my standard. I did not put in. If you want, you can make batteries that will boost your kinetic. You can put and your projectile stuff. You can get batteries that boost your EPG. You can get batteries to boost your speed, like the deuterium. If you get deuterium, those are always recommended. I did not care to run Spectres enough to get to the deuterium side of things, so I just went with having a red matter capacitor, temporal negotiator, the Kobayashi Maru transponder because it just boosts damage and all kinds of goodness. And then it's fun to summon in my own little Herc.
Hey, Grebog.
Yes?
What were the mods on that deteriorating secondary deflector?
Okay, you want Control X/EPG. First, you want deteriorating secondary deflector. Make sure it's that. I would search for that. And then you want Control/EPG. Then you want Control X by itself, EPG by itself, and projectile damage. And it'll have an SA plus damage. Well, it might not have the Control X/EPG. One of those is missing because I golded mine.
Yeah, one of those is in fact missing. I do have a Control X EPG with the projectile damage and SA damage.
Then grab that. When you gold it, I had to re-roll mine until I got the Control X/EPG. So, all right. For universal consoles, because there's not enough tactical slots, they are all tactical consoles. So I have an advanced tactical a vulnerability locator here for Torpedo. Then I have a Fekleri Torment engine. This comes from the Klingon Civil War or ARC Leap of Faith. It's great at boosting your secondary deflector damage, which you have a secondary deflector, might as well boost it. Then we have Hall image refractors. Now do note, unless you're really in an oh shit moment, never activate image refractors. Because it takes you out of the fight for 20 seconds. And while it could save your butt, you're out of the fight for 20 seconds. That's a big time. But I mean, it gives you plus 20% all damage and incoming healings exceeding max hull instead apply temporary hit points. It's a great way to go above, get yourself like a nice extra bubble of health. All right, then we have phase space membrane. This gives you more power transfer rate by a good chunk and shield resistance. Its use is pretty potent because it's makes you physical kinetic immune, scaling damage resistance, and increases torpedo damage. It's a really nice torpedo console. Then we have covert warhead. This is also another nice plus big projectile damage just sitting there flat, and then it will have you cloak, but since you are already well, this ship can cloak anyway, but since you're a torpedo boat, it doesn't matter because your torpedoes can still fire. So, but while you're cloaked, you get increased defense, you get faster flight speed and turn rate, and then also during this time, apparently flying near each foe plants a bomb that detonates at the end. And it says energy weapons offline, but then it also gives you, like, it talks about the bombs, how much kinetic damage they do. And then because we're embracing the psi side of the ship as well, I have the Dragon's Blood Flame Reactor, which gives you bonus disruptor, fire, cold, electrical, radiation, and psionic. The radiation's good to note. And then you also breathe fire on your enemies, which is fun. Who doesn't like to be a flamethrower in space? All right. Wow, I apparently have these all out of line on where I put them in the build. We have also the Tricobalt Terror Launcher. It increases mine and torpedo damage and 47.5% starship shield penetration. Always nice to have more shield penetration. And then when you hit it, it launches 5 ultra high yield Tricobalt warheads. I mean, you need more torpedoes, right? Everyone needs more torpedoes on a torpedo boat.
Yes. All the torpedoes.
And this console isn't. These are all universal pretty much on the engineering science. So only there's only the universal and tactical slots are all tactical. Tachyon net drones increases your crit chance and severity and more starship perception. So I guess if someone's stealthing around you, you might see them better. That's not really a huge concern, but it does a nice damage resistance in its little dodecahedron, or is that right? It's 20-sided die that it puts up, and it also, on critical hit applies some more kinetic damage. I mean, this is all taking advantage more kinetic. Then we have the Agony Distributor. It gives you more inertia rating and a flight speed, which is always lovely. But it reapplies portion of your damage dealt in AoE. It turns your torpedoes, which already explode a bit of AoE, into a bit of a bigger AoE to do more damage. So yeah,
more damage.
And then we have the Genesis Seed, which is an amazing console in general. If you're doing any kind of EPG build, actually, if you're doing a lot of builds, I've seen it used in more than just EPG. It's a nice console, but it increases your radiation damage. It does increases your drain expertise, but it then puts a big planet that grabs on, has a little tether to ships to slow them down, and it deals radiation damage to them. And at the end, it does a big boom that is kinetic damage, and yeah. It's just fun to watch them all explode at the end. And as I said, Lorca's console, so that way you get the 2-piece with the dark matter torpedo. Another option, if you can't get some of the torpedoes for whatever reason, would be to grab the wide beam array from also Discovery Rep and get the 3-piece. And then whenever I think the 3-piece gives you free torpedoes. Which are in a 360, not just, in front of you. So, but yeah, automatically launch 1 dark matter quantum torpedo enemies below 50% health. So whenever they're below 50% health, you have a chance of launching free torpedoes at them to do more damage. And for hangar pets, I grabbed the Elite Class C Shuttlecraft. They are supposed to be one of the better ones to have. If you were going another route with traits, there's another one that would be better, but just the way we have set this up, this is the way to go. And the other way would be doing the superior area of denial.
Shuttlecraft, where are they from?
I got those from the Fleet Starbase. I don't remember the unlock for it. They come on one of the ships. So we have, let's see what class. See shuttlecraft. Hangar Pet, Starfleet, the Merian Command Dreadnought Cruiser, Fleet Cardenas, or Earhart Strikewing Escort, Fleet Eagle Strikewing Escort.
Yeah, no.
All right. Yes.
It's worth noting that the Elite Mirror Universe shuttlecraft is essentially the same thing.
Yeah, so if you have that one, you can grab that. Let's hop over to traits. Now there's some interesting notes to make on traits. And we'll get to that. So here I have ablative shell. This is a survivability. It's great to have to help keep you alive. We have a good day to die. I am tactical. If you aren't tactical, unfortunately, this does nothing to you or helps. Yeah, you can't pick it up because it makes your go down fighting maybe used at any hull integrity instead of just below 50%. Great damage boost for tactical. It's kind of a must have. Like no matter what build you're doing. Unconventional systems. This is a control build type trait. Using control bridge officers gives you, reduces recharge of your universal consoles. We have, as you saw, we have a ton of universal consoles, so that helps out their cooldowns. Fleet coordinator helps with your team, gives bonus your entire team for damage. Duelist fervor, whenever whenever you or teammates kill something, you get a bonus, and hopefully your teammates, you're not the only one killing things, so you're should be proccing quite often. This might be a little controversial to some. Like I said, this is an EPG kinetic build, so we have on here this particle manipulator, which increases your exotic damage, critical hit chance, and severity. It is a free one that you get. I think R&D. And then Intelligence Agent Attaché. This is another good one on weapon critical strikes. Restores 2% of your captain ability recharge time. It is a way to get some of your base captain powers back quickly. Hopefully you're critting a lot. That's the whole point, like with many of these builds. Resonating payload modification. So you get -5 physical and kinetic resistance rating for 20 seconds per stack. This is a damage debuff on your enemies. So you're trying to proc this a lot. And as we said, there were certain things in this build that are meant to help you proc that faster. Veruvian explosives, need another boomer. This affects friends and self, and on dealing kinetic weapon damage, which torpedo build, 15% chance to add more kinetic, 40% more kinetic damage. As additional radiation damage, which this, as that's why there is traits in here and consoles in here that are boosting the radiation. We're taking advantage of an EPG side with this, and then of course the glory of all, the Boimler effect. That is the best cooldown reduction trait you can pick up. When on sale, if you have Lobby, buy it. If you don't have Lobby, I mean, when the year campaign event ends, you can then, wait for a sale and buy it. It is I would say it's a must have. My personal opinion. All right, Starship traits.
Absolutely is.
And this is where some of us will alter. I have weaponized exotic particles, boost more exotic particle generator damage. I have advanced precision guided munitions. This is obviously going off of the torpedoes, boosting torpedo damage. Yeah, it's a good trait. Then we have rapid emitting armaments. This is the one that not everyone likes, because you have to have if you have to activate it by using a tractor beam, and it gives you a bonus to your torpedo weapon damage, and it fires 3 heavy plasma torpedoes for free that do some pretty beefy damage. I would, yeah, it's a pretty cool. I like it, but if you don't have it, it comes off the legendary Dideridex. So yeah. And then with most of these builds that are torpedo builds, entwined tactical matrices, when activating torpedo spread, you get free fire at wills, or if you activate fire at wills, you get a free torpedo spread, which we have in here, fire at will and scatter volley for just this purpose. And then we have also piercing projectiles onto torpedo and mine firing modes, which, well, we're firing lots of torpedoes and have modes for them. We get starship shield penetration, lots of it, and starship hull penetration. And that's also, these 2 traits really work together because you're triggering the torpedo firing mode by, yeah. So, I put this one in here, sniper. It is not. I didn't have some of the other traits that some people like, but it is one of the one. It's a decent one. Increases your torpedo damage from long range if you're not sitting on top of things, or well, if you're not sitting right on top of them. But yeah, and then I put in here improved critical systems, which this is a trait from one of the recruits, temporal recruit, and it is a really good trait for something that you just have to spend some time and effort to unlock it, and then you have it on your account. It is a really nice trait.
Actually, that one's a little weird. The standard version of unconventional tactics comes off of the strategist specialization. You have to have 15 points in strategist. And then there's an advanced one that comes from the gamma recruit. I don't know why they split it like that, but they did.
Am I using unconventional tactics? No. But so yeah, unconventional tactics is a decent trait to have if you don't have some of these. So unconventional tactics, it's a level 15 in the strategist specialization trait, which, you know, once you level up, put enough points into it, you'll get this trait. But the improved version of it is, or the advanced version of it comes from the gamma recruit, is what he said. You understand now, Mim? Is that clear? Onboard dilithium recrystallizer. That's another good trait to pick up if you didn't have some of the others. I guess some alternate personal traits, if you didn't have some of the ones I said, would be projectile training. Innocuous is another good one. Elusive. And then if you need some more survivability, if you're struggling, bulkhead technician. Now for space traits, we have one of the standards, advanced targeting systems, for the 16% crit severity is, yeah, hard to pass up. And then we have auxiliary power configuration offense, more bonus damage, accuracy. Omega kinetic shearing deals 10% of your outgoing damage as a dot over 6 seconds. This build takes advantage of dots. 5% precision is another one, crit chance. Torpedo pre-fire sequence increases bonus torpedo damage, and destructible torpedoes fly faster. I mean, you want to get them, yeah, you want them to get to their target, right? Active ones, we have quantum singularity manipulation, anti-time entanglement, refracting tetryon cascade, biomolecular shield generator, and deploy sensor interference platform. And the reason for the platform is it will distract your enemies, get them off of you. For stations, and not like Bill and Ted's station. I don't know why every time I hear station, that's the first thing that pops into my head. So, the big part of this build is the command science. Because of the way this ship is set up, it's a little interesting. I kind of would like to have had a lieutenant seat with science for something, but it's fine. I think I still like the way this build came out. So we have call emergency artillery 3, and we have then the gravity well 1, destabilizing resonance beam 1, which comes from a mission. Yeah, so you have to pick that one up. Structural analysis 1, and that one actually comes from Lockbox, if I remember correctly. So you can pick that up on the exchange. I don't think it's normally too pricey. Now for the other science, since I'm using rapid emitting armaments, I have here tractor beam 1. If you are not going to use rapid emitting armaments, hazard emitters 1 is a great one to put in here. For the engineering, which is also command. If you notice, I have Keck, my engineer.
Heck, really?
That's automatically popped the name as Keck, and I had to leave it because, well, it made me laugh. So here we have in the lieutenant commander seat, concentrate firepower 3, emit unstable warp bubble 1, another mission. It's not hard to get a hold of. You just have to run the mission. And then because we have the emergency con officer that does whenever you hit emergency powered engines, you can get your evasive maneuvers back every so often. That's yeah. For the universal lieutenant commander seat, we put attack officer here so we can get torpedo high yield 3, cannon scatter volley 1, and beam fire at will. This is all for tactical entwined tactical matrices for the first two. For the actual lieutenant seat for the tactical, we went with tac pattern beta 1 and chemosite lace weaponry 1, because this makes all your torpedoes do even more AoE damage. Yeah. I think that's I guess here, duty officers. So here I said emergency con officer for the recharge evasive maneuvers. Bathil, he is a space warfare specialist. Whenever you do damage, you have, you can get some healing back. Basically, yeah, chance on outgoing applied as healing tactical abilities. So you're hitting high yield. Then I have here chance for stacking crit severity on firing projectiles. Then I have chance for stacking crit, chance for firing projectiles. Those go great together. And then I slapped in Boimler for toxic clouds from torpedoes, because we need more AoE, more death and destruction. And the toxic cloud ignores shield. That's the other thing. I don't see it saying that it does radiation, but to me that sounds radiation-like. Any questions?
Let's run something to show this build off. You guys want to do synthwave, so we get
Sounds
the daily
good.
done too?
Sure. Oh,
Okay,
and power settings, you want 100% on your aux. Go ahead and cue it. Wee woo. Wow.
Wee woo.
Wee woo.
You want 100 on aux, 45 on your weapons.
Wait. We
Yes.
invite Mem wanted to come for synth, but oh well. Sorry.
I tried to send him an invite, but he wouldn't stop logging out. Sorry, Mem.
It is with the synth are compromised. Rescued once resisting the synth
But yeah, so you want 100 on your aux, 45 on weapons, 40 on your speed, and then basically next to nothing on shields. The EPS and power shifting stuff is meant to give you your shield power. That is why some of the traits and stuff like that are built. Like there's something I think Tabby was talking about that. Oh, whenever I hit an engineering power, I get more power on the lowest thing. Well, right now my lowest stuff is my shields, so the more engineering powers I trigger, the more shields I'm gonna get. This ship does turn slow, so I will warn people of that.
Evacuate the engineers at the outer perimeter first.
It stops fairly quick though. I'm surprised.
Wow, there's like nothing over here. I don't know if somebody ran through there and beamed everything up, or if I just picked a bad spot.
Not a whole lot over here. Oh, a bunch more just popped in. Back up. Beep, beep, beep.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Hiccups.
You know, the music here always makes me think of Tron, which was probably intentional, but...
I mean, it's synthwave music.
And there went our little bombers.
Chris, you know what bothers me a bit? What does this TFO have to do with First Contact Day?
That has been my thought every time. Because, I mean, you know, what does it have to, like, what's the relation here?
You know what would be even cooler? Oh shit! I'm out. What would be even cooler is if, like, given what they did for Wolf 359, what if they give us a Sector 001 TFO, which would be more in the spirit of First Contact Day?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Since that is the actual battle that happened during the movie.
Another fight with a giant Borg cube.
Well,
and
yeah.
a spear.
Okay, I'm not finding any ships.
You might be able to move in a little bit. I don't remember quite where the next line is at.
Yeah, they probably didn't think of it then. But, like, it's something that they could do now. They have the technology. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking.
I'm sorry, Tabby.
I've already proven I can't talk tonight.
I'm sorry. Just the timing on that was pretty funny.
Picket ships, fall back to the next defensive perimeter.
Oh, this ship does turn kind of slow.
Hmm.
Kills things pretty good though.
Let's go for the transport.
Kills them dead.
Good, you're pointing towards the inside. Now cross that line, buddy. Cross that line.
I've lost so many transports due to that.
I'm gonna grab one more person, and then I'm crossing the line.
The outer perimeter is lost. Fall back and rescue as many people as you can.
Hi, Tabby.
Hey, good. The transport made it.
Did it though?
The one I hit, yes. Or I guess they didn't hit it.
Tabby, I'm turning around, so I quit stealing the ones you're going after. Wow, they're actually starting to cut through my shields a little bit here.
I picked up Bethul, or however you say it, and that has greatly helped my survivability.
What's that?
The duty officer that heals you as you do damage. That has helped me greatly on my survivability.
Oh yeah, I have one of those not cool officers as well. I don't remember his name, but I did grab one.
Or Bethil, something like that.
There's a couple of them. I mean, it's not only one that does that. There's a few of them. Here, I can look real quick while I'm sitting here. Mine is Deoga. Something like that.
Here, beam up spot. Have a planet.
Have a planet?
Genesis seed.
Oh. Gotcha. Come on, get to the transport. Get to the transport.
I'm just going back and forth apparently in this one quadrant of the circle.
Abby, are you okay?
What's up?
Are you alright?
No.
Is there anything we can do to help?
No. I mean, you might be able to, like, could you do something to, like, scare me? Maybe that'll make the hiccup stop.
Operational area is approaching 50%.
Take a drink out of your grandfather's mug.
Pulverize us if we stay here. Fall back.
That was an old remedy I once heard about for hiccups. No idea how accurate it is. Ooh, I'm trying to get these last two. I don't know if I have enough time.
I think Tabby had the same thought of me. I'm like, oh, hey, here's a ship to rescue, and I just finished it.
Come on, cross that line.
Oh, that nope, don't cross that line.
I think they're gonna make it.
Out of ships to bring survivors to. Bring any additional crews to the station.
They made it.
Them over.
Just barely.
It's only a matter of time before the defense net destroys everything on the surface.
I see the Adelaide. Hello, Adelaide.
Beam up any remaining survivors and get them to the safe zone.
Man, floater tonight. Although there are
there's a
warships.
cruiser over here.
There's all kinds of ships over here. I have 2 transports.
Tabby, do you have anybody you can beam to that transport you just flew past?
Yeah, I got 3 people on me.
Grab that transport. I'll grab this frigate over here.
Oh, there's another transport over there. Oh, Tabby's got it. Okay. There was 2 transports over by me. Now to get people and take them to middle. Fancy seeing more guitar picks in here.
Right?
Who would have guessed?
Are we at that point? We got 30
I
seconds.
haven't seen other ships on the other way around.
Just make sure you drop them off before the timer runs out.
Yeah, I'm about to pick up my 3rd person, so I'm heading to mid now.
Okay.
Hey, buddy, how'd you like running into my mines that I had behind me?
Fall back to the station. The safe zone is only 15 kilometers in radius. The station is deploying additional transports and has begun evacuation procedures. Fall back to the station
And
perimeter.
I'm empty.
Do not let the Sith through.
So this next, like in 30 seconds here, we should be on the defensive.
Yeah, the synth revolt was because of Romulan interference.
Specifically the Yacht Vash, because they don't
Yep.
like synthetic life forms. They were also the ones through their spy that convinced the Federation to ban synths.
Hey, there's 3 guitar picks, 3 lanes.
I got Beta.
I guess I'm at Gamma.
I'll take Alpha.
This should be fun. Kaboom.
There are transports en route to
There goes my free plasma torpedoes. I've been sitting max shield. I've been impressed with some of the tweaks I made. Like,
transport vessels.
granted, this is normal, so may not be the best judge of how much damage I can handle.
Ordeal, for that matter. Although there is a lot of targets.
Transports are en route to beacons Alpha and Beta.
See, what I also like about the rapid emitting armaments with the tractor beam thing, it doesn't matter if the ship is in front of you when you are hitting it with the tractor. Like, as long as you can hit it with the tractor beam, the ship could be somewhat beside you and you will still fire torpedoes that way.
transports en route to both Alpha and Gamma beacons.
The last time we did a torpedo build, we couldn't use that one.
Well, it comes from a legendary ship, because, yeah.
Normally we do budget builds. That reminds me. So, for anybody who's curious, we did not do this as a budget build. Because the ship itself is outside of our budget build restrictions. So legendary traits and everything else was up for grabs. Get away from my transports. I still think torpedoes fly too slow in this game.
Well, that's the whole point of having the rep trait that increases.
Well, like realistically, like torpedoes fly too slow.
Well, even in universe, usually the torpedoes they fire go pretty quick.
That's the last transport. All ships.
I don't, there's still travel time. That's the thing.
True. You're right. There is. I've just always felt they made them a little too slow in the game. Although, for PvP balance and wanting to make sure people have the opportunity to shoot down, certain destructible torpedoes, it makes sense. But back then, torpedo builds were not a thing. Not really. Not like they are now.
Yes, come into my D20 of doom.
Computer halt program. Captains, the simulation is now concluded.
Shit.
He said
Though
halt
it may
program,
not
but
seem it,
like
that
my
was a
ship
fine
didn't
showing.
freeze.
In the face of insurmountable odds, your actions would have saved many lives had you been present on that fateful
Many
day.
lives.
Well done.
Oh wait, I shouldn't mock him, should I?
Probably not.
Is he my superior officer?
No, he's only a commander. I mean, technically you're an admiral, so, you know.
As there's all these mines sitting behind me.
Nobody cares. They're only holograms, right? All right, so next week we're going to do a deep dive into the Delta, I almost said Gamma, the Delta recruits, and kind of explain what that's all about and why it's best to have 3 of them, not 4. And even what some of the notable rewards are. So we'll go over that next Thursday. Monday, as always, we are going to have our fun night. Please feel free to join us, and we'll just be blowing stuff up. No details and breakdowns or anything like that. Just violence. It'll be fun.
Bring whatever ship you want to fly. Yeah.
And as always, we are, you guys are more than welcome to join us for fun night. If we have more than 5 people, we'll split into other teams. We have had to do that in the past and are more than willing to do it again. We'll all be in chat together. Can become a little chaotic, but there you go. Also, when is our anniversary, Grebog?
July.
Okay, so
beginning of July.
So almost 3 months. All right. So just a heads up, we usually do a PvP thing. Last year we did Shuttlecraft, which was a lot of fun. I'm thinking of doing something like everybody has to be in a tier 2 ship this year, which could be interesting. Uh, I don't know. I'll talk to Grebog and Tabby, and we'll come up with the ground rules for this year's PvP. But we are always looking for people to join us for that as well. So I think that's everything. You guys have anything to announce before we say our goodbyes?
Nope.
All right, then, as always, I will see you out there.
Have fun, be safe, and don't set yourselves on fire.
And don't forget to hiccup. Sorry. As always, you can like, subscribe, follow, go to YouTube. Let's see, you man, I guess it helps. And live long and prosper. Computer, end program.